Namibian business icon and enthusiastic commercial farmer Dr. Quinton van Rooyen recently spoke about the importance of agriculture and development for the future of the economy and the nation. Against the backdrop of this week's National Agricultural Union Forum and also the Namibian Rangeland Forum, his call for a fresh approach to agribusiness is more pertinent than ever.
And I'm proud to be surrounded by the battle-hardened farming and business community, who despite the volatile and unpredictable changing world, stay on their course in investing, developing and improving products and services in Namibia. I am also pleased to be part of the history and a growing culture of innovation and national development. Unfortunately, ladies and gentlemen, national development at the moment is only a phrase to some, as too many Namibians still do not have access to basic necessities. This should be addressed effectively and immediately. It is time to revisit our mindset on what a farmer really is and redefine this category of Namibians who produce food from a humble garden near a homestead to an ultra-modern farming operation. This category of Namibians is the backbone to food security and pioneers the fight against hunger and poverty. Food will be the commodity of the future. History has told us that wars are being fought over commodities. This category of Namibians should be referred to as food producers, and special funding vehicles and other measures of protection should be established to promote the production of affordable food resources on a national scale. The current drought and subsequent feeding programs to close to 1 million inhabitants in our country should have driven home the inescapable proof of the importance of producing food, firstly for Namibians, then as a reserve for Namibians in times of disaster like this year, and then as an export commodity. For that to be achieved, we need inspirational leaders who can conceive, motivate, lead and execute. And while we're talking about leadership, ladies and gentlemen, elected leaders should remain accountable to the people who elected them in the first place, and not only to the head of state. We have too many leaders whose action, or rather non-action, are not worthy of the title Sir or Madam, let alone calling themselves Honourable this and Honourable that. There are unfortunately too few current leaders that have the capacity to effect the change that is required in Namibia. It is not the time to deny poor service delivery, bad administration and corrupt behaviour, but it is time to reward those in government, private sector and civil society that deliver excellent service, ethical governance and honest business in an attempt to better the lives of all Namibians. But my fellow food producers and job creators, it is short-sighted to dismiss bona fide developmental attempts from government just because it is different or will bring about change. It is time for food producers and job creators to be heard, but not by moaning and cheap criticism. There is no better time to admit that without a doubt, since independence, Namibia has a sound political and economic basis. But if we are honest, it is time to admit that we implement and execute poorly. Entrepreneurship is strangulated by bureaucratic decision-making processes. A case in point is the Agribank of Namibia only announcing yesterday that interest rates for food producers are lowered. This relief is welcome, but an earlier decision would have been much more effective for the entrepreneurial food producer. It is not the time to look for excuses why project policies fail. It is time to be brave and face the demons who fail to implement the policies that should increase productivity, wealth and opportunities for Namibians. The lives of Namibians can only be improved by creating wealth. It is not the time to search for temporary solutions to poverty, but time to close the income gap between the rich and the poor forever. Importantly, it must be achieved in such a way that entrepreneurship is recognized as a tool for the nation and not a weapon to a few. Policies must not make the rich poorer. The poor should be given opportunities to create wealth and become richer. Those which by talking alone only to receive bread on the table are called beggars. Those that take action to produce bread to their table by taking risks, creating jobs and wealth, addressing challenges, making mistakes, sharing in the wealth created with soft, strong bonds of caring. To those who will be conferred a coveted title, there goes an entrepreneur.